Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tom and I make videos that help you awaken your soul and experience your happiest life. Today we're talking about how to deal with deep and extreme emotional pain, especially when you're going through a spiritual awakening. But this video is going to make you feel like you're not alone if you're going through deep pain. And also give you that deep reassurance as to why you are experiencing that pain, because there's a really benevolent purpose behind it, and you're really safe. You're really safe right now, no matter how much pain you're in. How do I know this? Well, it is just my experience, of course, but I've been going through an awakening journey for multiple years now, and I'm a Pisces. I don't know if you know much about astrology and star signs and things of that nature. I don't know all that much, to be honest, but I do know that Pisces feel very deep, empathic, sensitive souls, and I'm certainly one of them. And so my emotional depth has always been deep. But when I started going through an awakening, it took on a whole new extreme. And in fact, today I actually just went through a really significant, painful experience and purging of emotion. And so I really intimately went into that experience and came out the other side, and I'm here right now filming a video, God knows how, because it was very powerful. But the positive of this experience that I just had is that it really brought me in touch with the deep value and benevolence behind these episodes that appear in our life. And so I'm going to share those with you, and also tips on how you can process this pain in your own life. And so what causes our pain? Well, it can be a number of things. It can kind of be an internal issue that's surfacing up for us to face. Maybe we've been deeply wounded from our childhood, or we have traumas from a past life. And basically these trapped energies from our internal issues bubble up. And they often bubble up with thoughts and beliefs that we've been holding on to as well. And they kind of get shoved in our face. And the only way to really process this part of us that was previously unconscious coming to the surface is by going into it and exploring it and healing and releasing it. Or it can be something external. Maybe your life situation is rapidly changing. That's often the case when we're on a spiritual path, is that everything so rapidly expands. Who you are, what you're interested in, your job, your relationships, your whole way of life. Everything can kind of be changing and shifting, and there can be just a fear and a loss and a grief due to the changes in our life. It can also be external energies coming in temporarily from other people and beings. I live in the city, so I experience this a lot. I can walk through and feel a lot of density in the area, and you can kind of absorb it into your being, particularly if you're empathic, and it can kind of sit within you, and that can be part of your inner pain. And then other times it can just be really unexplainable, and you don't know why, but you're just out of sorts, and there's this huge wave of sadness and pain and even depression and loneliness, and you're just consumed in this state. And so no matter what really the reason is, usually we can temporarily avoid facing it, unless we're really brave. Sometimes I am, to be honest. I bravely know I have to face this, and the sooner I do, the sooner I'm going to heal and liberate it, and I'm going to see the positive fruits beyond this painful experience. I'm going to expand into something positive. But oftentimes we can kind of avoid it for a few days, distract ourselves until it bubbles up. And it bubbles up so strong that it almost demands our attention, because it's so fully alive within our being at a cellular level. It just overrides our capacity to ignore it anymore. And that's when we really come into touch with the depths of how painful pain can actually be. And so this is what happened to me today. I was avoiding this pain because, quite frankly, I've been processing so much, expanding so much in my journey, that I felt a deep tiredness in my soul of processing so much and transmuting so much energy and emotion within me. And so I'd been avoiding this, and I kind of was a bit fed up and saying, you know, Melbourne's just about to get out of lockdown. We're the longest lockdown city in the world, and I just want to have a bit of fun. But life had other plans. My awakening path had other plans and said, no, you've got to face this wave of pain. So I put it off for a few days. I went to my brother's house. We had like a silly night playing video games, and I was just trying to distract myself until today. I woke up and I could hardly get out of bed. I just felt really depressed, to be honest. which is it's quite rare these days. But just with a change in pace of the lockdown life, and all of a sudden we're going back in, I was kind of processing a lot of grief on how much time I'd felt I'd kind of lost in this kind of half life in the lockdown. And now this other painful thing was coming up, issues around my masculinity and things like that I'm healing, and my childhood and things like that. And so I woke up and I just knew, okay, I have to face this. And what you may find with this extreme pain, and how I found it today, is that the only way to really deal with it is eventually to just stop doing everything and to face it. And it can be scary, but you're going to be okay. But that's what I did. I went to a park, I went out in nature, and I just kind of felt it. And it can kind of just go so powerfully deep. It's quite shocking, to be honest, how deep pain can get. It's almost like it expands and expands, and then it expands to the size of a football oval, and your whole field of consciousness is consumed in it, and it's throbbing out of you. And in the midst of it, all these thoughts from these repressed parts of you and the shadow self that can say horrible things and quite overwhelming things, and you can just be really consumed in it. To the point of deep fear, like it's so powerful that you're starting to lose a grip on who you are, and you're starting to really go to the very core wounds that you have as a soul, which really are around the fear of death and the pain of separation from the source or God. So this is what I really went into today, and what you may be experiencing in your journey. But I went into it, and it took courage, and I kind of went deeply into it, and it passed through. And as it passes through, you really see the divine purpose of it that's positive. And that is, obviously, you enter into a deeper state of awakening. And this awakened high vibrational state cannot be underestimated. It's really a beautiful thing. So I was walking around this park, having purged all these thoughts and beliefs and trapped energy at such a profound depth, that then I came up, and there was just a permeating peace and oneness that I could see all around me in my experience. A oneness with life, just nothing there but an absolute peace and an absolute wholeness. And it feels like your soul has kind of been stitched up, like a deep wound has been stitched up and come together again. And you're okay. You're tender, but you're healed. And that wound of separation has been closed up. And you've truly stepped into a new version of you that, once this wave passes through, will be even stronger than you ever been before, empowered and healed than you ever thought possible. And that has an absolute effect on your reality. People around you will subconsciously pick up on it, because we're all connected in that way. Because that's the gift of going through the pain, is that you really become connected to the core wounding of your being, and you go beyond it. And once you go beyond it, you enter into the transcendent dimension of yourself, in which those divine energies are there waiting to heal you and to welcome you home. And that's obviously love, the love of God and the source that's all pervasive, and what we truly all seek to know and to experience within ourselves. That utter peace, relief and healing and wholeness. That's really the gift of going through this pain. And so it is intense, but you're okay. You're going to be okay. I'm okay right now. I am tender, but I'm okay. And I think the key tips that I can give you if you're really experiencing that pain is to realize that, firstly, you're safe to experiencing it. You're safe to go into it. And you don't have to believe the fearful, doubtful parts, or thoughts rather, that are attached to this pain right before you go into it. Because those thoughts can have you convinced that there's something really wrong with you, that you're actually not healing, that you're broken, that you're not good enough. Like, why are you not getting through this healing part of the journey? Why are you not processing it? And you can really feel hopeless and lost and in a desperate state, and yet have no one to really turn to that can really understand at the depth of transformation you're going through. And so you can really feel kind of convinced that you're at a loss. You don't know what to do. And then yet when you go into it and you have the courage and understanding that you're safe and that you're going to be okay, and you go into this pain, you actually heal at such a deep level within a matter of minutes. Really, it doesn't have to be that long. You come out the other side and you realize you weren't broken. In fact, the depth of your pain was actually the extent to which you were becoming divine and actually are healed and actually are brave. So know this going into it. The second thing is to go into it. Eventually, at some point or another, the highest level of solution is to surrender into the pain. It's the last thing often we want to do, and yet as soon as we do it, and as soon as we go into that pain and we really go into it deep, and we don't try and avoid it, we just get that courage from within us and we go to face it full on, full bore, is the sooner we realize that was the highest choice of wisdom. Because as soon as we're in it, we can actually feel the pain moving through us and out of us, being released and liberated. And we can, soon after that, feel that new state anchoring in. And that new state just has a whole different energy and point of view about it, almost laughably so. At one point before you go into it, you can feel like your life's about to be over and it's hopeless and you have no idea what you're doing. And then as soon as you go through it, and briefly, within minutes, you go through it and you come out the other side, all of a sudden, life's good again. You feel at peace. You're literally so viscerally present with the moment. You're noticing the beauty all around you. And you're alive again, you're aligned, and you're okay. And you go, how could I ever not have just faced it sooner? So go into it and you will arrive at this state when that painful emotion passes through. Having said that, it can be tough, because these painful waves can be a matter of minutes long, or they can last on and off for multiple days. I remember hearing about Dr. David R. Hawkins, who wrote the book Letting Go, and he talks all about feeling the emotion to heal it. He once said that he was letting go of a deep, painful attachment, and the pain and energy within his being that was linked to this attachment took 9 days of non-stop feeling the pain and letting go and surrendering it and being with it before it came to an end and that energy finally dissipated and was released. So 9 days, that's pretty brave. It may have even been longer than 9 days, but the point being is that's a long time to be in a prolonged state of pain, and that's the most extreme I've ever heard it. Usually I found within 10 minutes to 60 minutes or an hour, and you'll feel a huge shift within you, but go into that pain. And that brings me to the next mindset point, is trust that it will end. It absolutely will end. When you're being with that pain, you're loving and liberating it, because your awareness, your beingness is love, ultimately. And so that love is the most powerful healing force and the infinite nature of who you really are. And so it's so much more powerful than pain and darkness and suffering could ever be. And so you can really know deep within you that by going into this pain, not only are you safe, and not only is it the highest choice of wisdom, but that this pain will end. It will just come to an end. And I always find it kind of strange and rather intuitive how you know that the pain has ended. It's almost like it's just so alive within your being. You're feeling it. You're like, oh my God, you're almost at your wit's end feeling it. And you go, and another wave comes, another wave, and it just all of a sudden, whoop, it just finishes, and you go, and you just feel there's nothing left there. It's gone. The energy is gone. And it ends, and when it ends, it's just ended. It's over. There's nothing left to feel and release. But who you are in that moment is the transformed you, the vibrationally upgraded you. And that's the reward. And 4, know you will shift after it. That can't be underestimated enough either. This really is about you having a massive vibrational upgrade in your being. The level of healing and alignment within you will be incredibly amazing. And that whole beingness you'll be in post going through this big healing process will be creating a whole new reality. And that's what you will become out of this. You will literally be soaring as a new version of you. And in that state, quite instantly, you're seeing life differently. It's really remarkable. You see life completely differently, and you know you're okay, and you're so proud of what you've been through by going through this pain. and you feel whole. You feel really whole, you feel really healed, you feel really aligned once again, and you're ready to really embrace the next exciting chapter of your journey. Until the next wave comes, and the next, and the next, and who knows if we ever get to the end of them. All I know is that the more pain you experience, the more the slingshot into a better reality and version of you is. That's what I found, is that there's a direct mirror and reflection and correlation between the extent and depth of the pain and suffering and hardship you're going through, and the degree to which you spring forward into something positive, exciting and new in yourself and in the reality you experience. There's a direct correlation. So know that you will be rewarded for this. You don't have to suffer, and you're not just going through this pain for the sake of it. You're literally letting go and being stripped of everything that doesn't belong to you anymore, because you've outgrown it, and you can really shed off that shell, push it off. As painful as that can be, you really will be lighter. You really will be significantly different. You really will be energetically at a higher level of vibration and frequency. And that really will create a whole new experience for you. And so with all this in mind, whether you are grieving the loss of reality that no longer is, or a person or situation that no longer is in your life, or whether you're dealing with deep internal issues about who you are and you're really facing those core childhood traumas and wounds, or whether you're just transmuting energies to set yourself free to a higher state, a new version of you for the well-being of all, know this, that pain is the gift that opens the window to your true divine self and soul. If you know all that, then you'll go through it. Then you will go through it, and you will experience all those fruits. And so hopefully this video is a reminder that gives you that clarity and that understanding, that map, and some key tips that will help you get through that pain. My heart goes out to you. I understand what it's truly like, and I'm sending you my love for wherever you are around the world and for whatever you're going through, and I know you will be okay. So if you like this video, please like it, leave me a comment, I love hearing from you, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to get the free reality shift cheat sheet, which is a powerful resource guide that can help you really awaken your soul and transform your reality. You can get that for free at the link in the description below. Check out my one-on-one coaching if you'd like to work with me more in depth, to heal within yourself, to awaken your divine potential and really create your happiest life. Again, that link is in the description. And finally, stay tuned for more videos soon. Thank you.